grade geometry, in CO3, we discussed a nice little formula. Sophie, Kylie, to find the midpoint of a segment. Today, we are going to figure out how to find the length or the distance of a segment or between 2 points, okay? And think back to last year, we talked about distance in terms of absolute value. What do we know about a distance? It's how far apart two things are, right? But mathematically, what's important to remember about distance? Yeah.
How far two things are apart.
That is exactly more or less what I just said. Yes. But mathematically, Lexi, Will, what else do we know about distance? What's important? Catherine?
How far is from 0?
That's the definite absolute value. Okay, good. But why doesn't a ruler have a negative side to it?
Because there is no negative.
Because a distance can't be negative. Okay, that's going to come up again here. So a distance is how far 2 points are from each other. That's the definition. Okay, how far 2 points are from each other. But we need to remember, this is the kind of a extra special thing. A distance, Damien, cannot be negative. You all agree to the terms and conditions to be in the classroom, which now if you break them, a breach of a contract, one might say, then you can enjoy watching the video tonight because you'll be in the hallway during class. You didn't raise your hand saying you didn't agree, which means you do agree.
I have a question.
Yes.
What happens if we don't agree to the terms?
Then you go sit in the hallway,
Okay, so
and you can write your parents an email and CC me as to why you're out in the hallway. Yes, you kind of should agree. Yeah, because you should know. And the distance formula looks like this. Again, given two ordered pairs that we can call x1 and y1 and x2 and y2. Okay, you see we've got two ordered pairs down below for the practice stuff, so we're using these terms again. But the formula is this. You know it's going to be good. The difference between your x values squared plus the difference of your y values squared. And then that value rooted. Okay, so x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared, and then the root of that entire, I did.
Did you make this
I actually practiced ahead of time. Did I make this up? Yes, I did make this up.
No, but like,
No, I didn't make this up.
why would you?
Okay. Oh, is there a word I'm not supposed to say today?
Yeah.
Okay, and it's been approved by the Boyle? Okay, all right.
What's the word? What happens when you say that?
You get less homework than normal.
Half. And if we're not going to get any homework anyways, I mean, just never get homework again. Or we should get like extra guesses for the
No, I agreed to less homework, which if you want to get extra guesses for the number game, I will approve that. But
homework means better number game.
Okay.
Well, if we don't have homework, then the next time we get number game, we get more. I think it's two more guesses on the number game.
That could make it 5.
3 automatically.
no, I'll nix that one. Okay. We'll see. Okay. 3, 2, 1. You are quiet. Here we go. So this is the formula, and actually applying it to these values now, we can label point A, 9, 7 as x1 and y1, and then 4, 8 as x2 and y2. And now it just becomes a matter of using the formula. And similar to the quadratic formula, we talked about this last year, I do not recommend trying to do the whole thing at once. Okay? Take it piece by piece, break it up a little bit. Putting it in your calculator all as one giant equation is possible. It's an order of operations nightmare. And so I very much recommend breaking it up. But it's going to look like this. Okay, so we have 4 minus 9 squared. Okay. and then 8 minus 7 squared. So I recommend doing your parentheses first. That's going to give us the -5 squared plus 1 squared. And someone kind of project here, this will be a question on your test. What in the formula guarantees we're not going to get a negative distance? We said at the top that a distance cannot be negative. How does this formula guarantee we won't get one, Kylie? Right. Each of these numbers gets squared before we add them and before we take the root. What happens when you square a negative? Becomes positive. So you are guaranteed to get a positive value as an answer here. Okay. What's that? Okay. Joey, Damien, both of you, quiet. All right. Since we're talking about distance, and distance is typically given in decimal form, it's 7.2 miles if you use MapQuest for directions like I do. You can put this in decimal form. So you would round this to be 5.1, and that would be your answer. Well, it's an irrational number because it's a non-perfect square. So if you didn't round it, you'd be writing 9 numbers every single time. So I recommend that you round it. Joey, I am right. Yes, Vince. Just Kylie. Nearest 10th will be good, unless the directions specifically say otherwise. But nearest 10th is acceptable. Liesel. Square root. So right around your 7 key, I think it's like up and to the left of it, there's a button that says x squared. You press that button and that gives you the power. How'd you make it through the quadratic formula without knowing how to use a power? Oh, okay. Fair enough. Okay. All right. Well, yeah. Next one. Same kind of thing. X1, Y1, X2, Y2. We're taking the root of our X values subtracted. And it doesn't matter what you label X1 or X2, because if you take -6 minus 10, you'll be squaring a -16. If you put the 10 first and take 10 minus -6, which is positive 16, squaring that will get you the same result. So it doesn't matter which one comes first, as long as you calculate correctly. So -6 minus 10 is a -16, which we're squaring. And we're adding to that -20 minus -11, or -20 plus 11, which is -9. Ellen.
Well, if you did like x1 minus x. Oh, yeah. No, if you did x2 minus. Oh, never mind.
It works out the same.
My bad.
Yep.
Wait, no. If you did like 10 minus -6, isn't that 16?
Yes, and positive 16 squared is the same thing as -16 squared, right? Because that sign being in the parentheses, it means you're taking that number times itself. Both of them will get you a positive 256.
That's fine. Yeah.
Damien, I need you to stop making comments and ask questions if you have it. Yes.
I'm confused on that question.
She was saying, what if you put the -10 first here, or the 10 first, and took 10 minus -6? Either way, you end up squaring opposite values, which will give you positive 256 anyway. Okay. 256 plus 81 is 337. Okay. Which in your calculator rounded to nearest 10th is something like 18.4. That's what I was going to say. Right? Questions? Okay. The last one. Do it as I do it. See if we end up with the same answer. I'm going to show every single step so you can check your work as you come along. As with any formula thing, I mean, the easiness of it is just, do you plug things in the right spot and do you calculate correctly? There's nothing for you to set up, right? The formula's provided for you. It's not like systems of the equations. We have to write your own system, or it's not like factoring where you have to, follow that. It's pretty cut and dry. Just do you put your numbers in the right spot and do you follow the signs and calculate correctly, basically. So we have 14 minus negative 8 that we're squaring, and we're adding that negative 5 minus 11 that we're squaring. So that gets us 22 squared plus negative 16 squared, which I'm not fresh up on my 22 times 22. Should be 500 something. 484. So if you do everything right, you should get the square root of 740, which is approximately 27.2. 27.2. If you didn't get that, go back, check your numbers that you're squaring. Start there. It's easy to make a sign mistake if you're working too quickly. Any questions? Yes, it does. Is that what you got? Okay. Anything else? Yeah.
Does this sound satisfying?
You know what's even more satisfying than that?
Stop.
Silence.
Actually, I hate silence. You like silence?
If there are no questions, we can now look back at CO3, where you plotted those 4 landmarks in this town of yours. As mayor of the town, it's now your job to construct sidewalks that connect all 4 buildings in a quadrilateral, which is a 4-sided shape. If each unit of sidewalk costs $65, how much of the town's budget will you be spending on sidewalks? So back in CO3, wherever those 4 towns were, we had what? 5, -4, we had 0, 8, we had 3, 6, and we have -9, 4. You are now constructing sidewalks that connect them. Okay? And your job is, not really, and your job is to be a true trapezoid, the top and the bottom sides need to be parallel. So unless these have the same slope, which miss it by that much, they're not technically. Anyway, so you need to find the distance of these 4 sidewalks. That's how many units of sidewalk needed, times $65 per unit. It doesn't matter if it's feet or miles or yards per unit. Okay? You're finding the distance and then calculating the total cost. Yeah.
Does that mean we use the formula, then use the things? The
Shh. Then raise a hand and ask a question, Liesl. Alan. No, you're using these 4 points for your homework in CO4. The 4 points that you plotted in CO3, you are connecting them with sidewalks, as I have in red here, and you're finding the distance of those sidewalks. You figure it out by recognizing this is the ordered pair 5, -4, and this is the ordered pair -9, 4, and using the distance formula, right? The distance formula, you're given 2 ordered pairs, and you plug them into the formula like we just did 3 times on CO4. You're given these ordered pairs, and you're finding the distance of the sidewalks. Liesl, what is your question? Very good. Alex. Well, you find the distance of this sidewalk too. Here? Here? Because it says to connect them in a quadrilateral, which this is the only way to connect them in a quadrilateral. That's why I drew them in for you. Beckman.
How do you know which one goes?
Ellen. Lexi. Shh. Till I'm done recording. Stop.
Like, how do you know if -9 goes before 5?
Because in a quadrilateral, which is what I'm having you do, this is the only way to connect them in a quadrilateral. So you must connect them in this way, as I've done here, to make a quadrilateral. It's the only way. Okay? By telling you it needs to be a quadrilateral, I'm narrowing your connecting to this specific way. And raise your hand and you can ask your question. Oh, it doesn't matter. Remember, it doesn't matter which ones is actually, you can interchange them. Okay? Lexi. It doesn't matter. Right? You can interchange the X1 and the X2 and you're still going to get the same answer. If on CO4, I had reversed these ordered pairs, put them in the other order, we would have gotten the same answer. Yes.
No, we have to find like from the town hall to whatever, the whole thing.
You are finding 4 distances. The 4 that I drew up here earlier. 5, -4, 0, 8, -9, 4, and 3, 6. Okay? There are 4 sidewalks being built, exactly like in red here. You are finding the distance of those 4 sidewalks. Lexi, did you listen to my answer?
She asked me.
You are finding the distance of those 4 red segments. Draw them on your paper, and that's what you're finding the distance of. You know the ordered pairs because they're given to you, right? You already plotted them. Okay? It doesn't matter which one you label X1 and Y1 and X2 and Y2. You'll get the same answer either way. Catherine.
We have to do this 4 times.
Like 4. Yes.
Wait.
Ellen.
Is that all we have to do, or do we have to do the?
Though this is only the first part of the homework. We're still.
No, we have to do the part that's if you unit of sidewalk costs 65.
Yes. Yes. Okay. So let's just say that this distance between point A and point B here was 5. Then you'd multiply 5 by 65 to get the cost for the sidewalk for that area, for that sidewalk. Okay? Other questions on this? Yes, Alex. Yes, Alex. Joey? Shh. Unhelpful. Damien?
You can just come talk to me after.
All right. In addition to this, you have a little bit of review of CO1 and CO2. And then from your textbook, honestly, you complain more than even last year's 8th graders. So far, you have 6 questions total. 6 questions is all you have so far. 6. I don't know what I'm supposed to say.
I'm quitting your class, Mr. Shaw.
I'm sorry.
Can I quit? I'm done with 2 now.
On page 20. (31 to 33).
Are you joking? So far.
The next person who speaks before I say my outro is going out in the hallway. Whether it's my first time telling you to be quiet or not, this is the official start of the silent game until I give my outro. Any speaking, you're in the hallway. On page 20, 31 to 33, and number 52, work must be shown all told, that is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 questions. I feel like that is more than reasonable. Anthony, I'm giving you permission to speak.
Wait, is it 33 through 52?
No, it's 31 through 33, comma, 52.
Wait, that's 4 questions.
Very good. Yes, it is. Your permission to speak has ended. Noah, you have permission to speak.
What is the SW thing?
Stands for show work. Make sure you do it. Your permission to speak has ended. Damien, you have permission to speak. Your permission has ended. Ellen, you have permission to speak.
So that's 4 questions, but then we have one other question. So
Anthony, hallway. Goodbye.
those are 4 questions, but then we have one other question. But does that count as 4 questions because we have to find 4 lines?
No, your permission has ended. Lexi, permission to speak.
Wait, one question didn't make sense.
No, it did not. Go ahead.
Wait, I only say 7 questions because that one word problem and then the time for review, that's 2, and then the 4 at the bottom. That's
Excellent. Your permission has ended.
Wait, where'd you get 10?
Ended. Hallway.
Wait, for real?
Yeah. Any other questions? That's how you math.